In this video, I am going to share with you my top 7 reasons why I think you should invest in property. And they're really good reasons. If you're not into property whatsoever and you're thinking about it, or you're on the fence and you're thinking, should I, shouldn't I? Hopefully these 7 reasons will give you more clarity. So watch the video now. I think property is by far the best investment. And one of the main reasons I like it, before I go into my 7 top reasons, is that it's tangible, bricks and mortar. You can see it, it's there, and I just like that. Maybe I'm just getting old and that's the way that I am, but I like that tangible asset that is in bricks and mortar, and it's real life, it's there. It's not somewhere in crypto or stocks and shares or elsewhere. Not saying there's anything wrong with all those. If you're comfortable with them, do those. I'm a property guy, so I'm going to share with you why I think you should also invest in property. First one is property is timeless, because people are always going to need a home to live in. Therefore, it's going to create a good marketplace, and everybody needs property, so therefore there will be demand. So that's my because simply it's a necessity. So that's my first reason why I like investing in property. The second one is the population in the UK is growing and continues to grow. Over the next 20 years, it's predicted we're going to grow by a further 10 million people. That's a lot of people. And what that means is that's a lot of homes, because demand's growing. So therefore you need to have the supply, which means there will be demand for more housing. Third one, which is a well-trodden path and most people know about it, is that there's a shortage of supply in housing. So therefore we need to build more homes. Therefore there is greater demand and we need more properties. And this keeps driving up prices and gives us good returns. And every single pretty much local authority in England and the UK, although I know more about England than the UK in terms of housing supply, is that they all need more homes and they all have some targets. Most of them struggle to meet those targets, and what's interesting is that they have targets to meet in terms of giving planning permission on sites or the number of homes or houses, and many of them fail to meet that target too. So they are under a certain amount of pressure from the government to open up more sites, deliver more planning applications, or sign off more planning applications. And if you've been through a planning application process, you'll know it's arduous, it's hard, difficult, and it's never plain sailing. And quite often, in my experience, local authorities tend to take a lot longer than they should do, and it asks for more information sometimes, but sometimes it's unnecessary, and things don't always pan out. And this isn't me pointing fingers at any one particular local authority. I've seen this for my own applications, seen this many times for clients dotted around the country. I think it's just a long, old, convoluted process, and we need to speed things up, which will be good for everybody, because if we speed up the planning process, people have more confidence, more planning applications go through, more houses get built, and then people have more confidence, they'll put more applications in, because they'll know they're not going to be that long, hard, arduous, and it's a win-win for everybody. And the local authority meets its targets, makes fees through planning applications, we supply more homes, everybody's happy. It makes perfect sense. So let's hope we can see more revisions in planning applications. Next up is over a third of the population in the UK rent their home, and this trend has been increasing over the years, just because obviously with house prices being so high and salaries not catching up with that, unfortunately people can't afford to buy their own home, which means they have to rent, which means there's a demand for that, which makes investing in buy-to-let properties a fantastic particular strategy. Of course, alongside that, if you're doing rent to rent, that also becomes a good strategy, because you can rent the property from an owner or a landlord and then rent it on to others, and that in itself is a business. Number 5, property is, I think, more stable than stocks. So when COVID-19 hit, we saw some stocks plummet by about 30%. Some went through the roof, like Amazon and Zoom and others, but some dropped a lot. By comparison, and this is interesting, house prices in the UK increased by 7.6% in 2020. So prices house prices were doing really well, and that was a good test, because quite a few people were saying house prices might fall when the pandemic started, and some lenders stopped lending, which made it tighter and harder. And I've shared on another video how it took me 14 months to refinance one of my developments, which is real hard work, because the lender wanted to know everything and anything, which some of it wasn't really relevant to the lending. And at one point I just thought they were asking questions to basically not lend us the money, because some of the questions really were absurd. But we got there in the end. Took 14 months and it was job done. Number 6 is capital value of properties is growing faster than having money in the bank. Interest rates are at record lows at the moment, so money sat in a savings account isn't going to make you much whatsoever. Whereas obviously if you invest in real estate over a certain period of time, that money is going to grow, so like you have capital appreciation. But alongside that, what's really important, and this is I think very important, is don't just rely on capital appreciation. I mean, I'm kind of tired now of hearing from people that they just rely on capital appreciation over the next 10 years. That's not the point. You want to be focusing on monthly cash flow. The capital appreciation, as I see it, is a bonus. So make sure you have properties that cash flow every single month. That gives you brings in cash, net cash for you, which you can invest in future deals, or gives you a good living, depending on your own circumstances, whether you have another job, another business, and where you are in life, and how much money you need. But make sure you focus on the cash flow, and then the capital appreciation and the increase in the value of the asset at a later date is your real Brucey bonus. The 7th one, again, this is important. Property investment is diverse. There's no one thing that you can do in property. So you can have a buy-to-let, which gives you a steady, regular income. You can then do commercial conversions, buy commercial property, convert it into residential, and create a regular income by holding on to those assets. Or you can sell them and generate a profit straight away. You can buy land and get into speculative planning applications, get the planning, sell and make your margin. Or you can go into land promoter agreements, or you can then build out that particular build out on that land, or you can buy land with planning if you don't have an appetite for risk. Build those houses, keep them or sell them. You can go into rent to rent, you can go into service accommodation, you can look at deal sourcing. The possibilities are vast, and what real smart investors will do is they'll diversify their portfolio so that they're doing a bit of a few different things. So some give them immediate cash flow, some they hold on to and get less cash flow, but give a steady income. So if you do a commercial conversion, let's say you bought something for 500 grand, spent 500 grand to convert it, it's worth £1 million, or it cost you about £1 million. It's now worth 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, depending on the deal. If you sell it, you can make that 300, 400, 500 grand profit, or if you refinance it, you can put all your money out and sometimes get some extra cash on top, depending on which lender you go with. So you've got all your money back and some to invest in the next deal, and you've got an asset there which is generating rental income. You can then use that to pay off your finance costs and other running costs, and you've created extra income. So you can do one or the other: sell, create profit. Obviously you'll have to pay tax on that profit, or refinance. You don't have to pay any tax on the refinance, and then you just pay tax on the income as it comes through every single year through your accounts. So those are 7 reasons why I think property is fantastic. It's served me exceptionally well in my life. I still continue to invest in property, and I think I will do for as long as I can imagine, and as long as I'm inspired and enthusiastic to do so. And I think you should do the same.